day everyone, my name is Justin Wyllie and I am going to be guiding you today on how to connect two virtual machines and VirtualBox on a network. So before we power on our machines, we are going to have to change the network settings for the machines. So we can either right click on the machine and go to settings, or we can click settings right up here. So I'm going to go into settings for my second machine, that is the server, and I am going to network, and in adapter 1 I am going to where you see attached to, I am going to make sure that it is attached to a host only adapter. By default it is going to be attached to a NAT, but we're going to change it to host only adapter. And also in here we want to make sure that promiscuous mode is changed to allow all. Once we do that, we can press OK to close up the settings. Now we have to do the same thing with our Windows 10 machine, that is the other machine. We are going to open the settings, open network, in adapter 1, make sure that adapter 1 is attached to a host only adapter, and make sure that promiscuous mode is set to allow all. Once we have made sure that both of those settings are in order, we can power up our virtual machines. Okay, so we have both our server and our Windows 10 client up and running. So what we're going to do, we're going to do everything on one machine, and then we're going to do the same things on the next machine. So let's start on the server machine. So to begin, we're going to go to our File Explorer. We are going to this PC, and we're going to Properties. From here, we're going to change settings, and we're clicking on Change. And here we will be giving the computer a name. I've already named this computer. I've named it Windows Server. You can name it whatever you prefer. This is what the computer will be known by on the network. So I'm just going to close this off. And from here, we are going to the bottom right where there is the network symbol. We are going to right click on that, and we're going to open Network and Sharing Center. From here, we are going to change adapter settings. We are going to right click on the Ethernet adapter. We are going to Properties, and from there we are looking for Internet Protocol version 4, TCP IPv4. We click on Properties, and by default it is going to obtain an IP address automatically. We don't want that. We want to give it a static IP address so that anytime we want to reference this machine, this is the IP we use. So we are going to change it from obtain an IP address automatically to use the following IP address. And the IP address we are going to use for this machine is 192.168.0.1. Our subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.0. It filled out itself. And our default gateway is going to be 192.168.0.1, as well as our preferred DNS server. We will set that to the same thing. Once we've entered everything, we press OK, and we close it. We also close this too. Okay, now from here, what we are going to do is we're going to change advanced sharing settings. That's on the left here. And we're going to look for our current profile. So we are currently on guest or public. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that network discovery is turned on and file and printer sharing is turned on, as well as we're going to turn off password protected sharing. Okay, so in guest or public, we're turning on network discovery and file and printer sharing, and in all networks, we are going to turn off password protected sharing, and we're going to save our changes. Okay, now the last thing we need to do on this computer is we need to enable 4 services. So we're going to open Task Manager. This is how it will look by default. We're going to click on More Details, and we're going to Services. And we're going to enable 4 services. So the first one is DNS client. We see it right here. It is running, but if it weren't running, we'll just right click and start it. The next one is function discovery resource publication. That is not running, so we're going to start this service. Our next service is SSDP discovery. That's right here. It's not running, so we're going to start it. And our last service is UPnP device tools. That is not running as well, so we're going to start it. And that is everything we need to do on this machine. You can check back our adapter settings. Okay, so now it's an unnamed network. And we're going to disable and enable this so that it gives the network a name. So see, it's now network 2 instead of unidentified network. Okay, so we close that, and now we are going to our Windows 10 machine to do all of the same things. So to begin, we are going into File Explorer. We are right clicking on this PC, going to Properties. We are going to scroll down, Advanced System Settings. We are going to start in the Advanced tab. We are going to go to the Computer Name tab. We're clicking on Change, and we're going to change the computer name to whatever we like. I have already named mine. You can name yours whatever you like. That is the name it will be known by on the network. And we're leaving the work group the same. So I'm going to close this out. And now we are going to the advanced. We are going to open network internet settings. So we look at the bottom right where the network symbol is. We're going to right click, open network and internet settings. We are going to scroll down until we see network and sharing center. We click on that. And from here, we are going to change adapter settings. Right, so we're going to right click on the adapter. We're going to the properties. And from here, we are going to look for Internet Protocol version 4, TCP IPv4, and we are going to the properties of that. So by default, again, the IP address will be assigned automatically. We want to make it static, so we're going to click on use the following IP address. And the IP address for this machine will be 192.168.0.2. Our subnet mask will fill automatically. Our default gateway will be 192.168.0.1, and our preferred DNS server will be the same. We click OK, and we close this. And we're back to the network and sharing center. So from here, we are going to change advanced sharing settings. And in our current network profile, we are going to turn on network discovery, turn on file and printer sharing. So these are on already. And now we are going to all networks. And we are going to turn off password protected sharing. See our changes. Okay, and now the final thing we must do is we must enable the 4 services. So we are going to open Task Manager again. We are going to the Services tab. We are going to make sure that all our 4 services are enabled and running. So we're looking for DNS client. This is running. The next one is function discovery resource publication. This is also running. Our next service is SSDP discovery. This is running. and our last one is UPnP device host. This is also running. So now we should be able to communicate between the two devices. So the way we're going to check that is we're going to open File Explorer and we are going down here to Network. And both of our machines should show up. I'm not sure. Good, good. So both of our So the way we're going to check that, we are going to open up File Explorer. And from here, we are going to go to Network. And you should see both of our machines showing up here. So we have Windows 10 Client and Windows 10 Server. So both of them are showing here. And we are also going to check this on the server machine. By opening File Explorer, Network, and we see both of them are showing here as well. That's great. The final thing we are going to do is we are going to check that both of the devices can ping each other. So we're going into command prompt. I'm in the server right now, so I'm going to ping the client. I'm going to ping the client, so I'm going to type in ping and the IP address of the client, which is 192.168.0.2. And we are getting responses, so the server can ping the client, and the client is responding. And we are going to also check this in the client to make sure that the server is responding. So we're going to open command prompt cmd, and we are going to ping the server, which is 192.168.0.1. You'll remember this from when we set our static IP addresses earlier in the video, and we are getting responses, so both of them are communicating. So now both of our machines are connected and they are communicating on a network.